This is Mason Vera Paine with a video game review of Ubisoft's Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle for Nintendo Switch. It has a great story where the rabbits end up in some scientist's home and steal her goggles that can meld two objects into one. Eventually, one rabbit starts melding other rabbits with the Mario merchandise that's scattered around the scientist's room. During the chaos that ensues, the rabbit time washing machine gets melded with Mario merchandise and causes all the rabbits to invade the Mushroom Kingdom. Here, Bowser Jr. finds the rabbit with the goggles and wants to use him to take over Mushroom Kingdom. Mario, with his new and old friends, must stop Bowser Jr. and restore Mushroom Kingdom to where it was before. This game has 4 worlds with 9 stages in each. There's a mid-boss and a final boss for each stage, and I thought this would be another platformer or something like Mario Party, but Kingdom Battle is actually a turn-based tactics game. You'll have 3 characters on your team, and it turns out that each one will have a special ability and different moveset that can round your team out. I found that there was a melee character like Mario and Rabbid Mario, utility characters like Luigi, Rabbid Luigi, Yoshi, and Rabbid Yoshi, and a healer character like Princess Peach and Rabbid Peach. Because of this type of team dynamics, it feels like an RPG. Even more so after you begin getting power orbs mid-World 1. These power orbs are granted after finding certain treasure chests or even after a fight. You can use them to level up your character's abilities, and everyone gets the same amount, so you don't have to hoard the orbs for your main team. This was a nice touch because you can experiment with your team and not rely on the first few characters you get. The fights here are pretty standard tactics style. You get your turn with your 3-man team, and then the enemy team gets their turn. Before each fight, you'll be prompted with an easy mode that will restore all health and get 50% extra health, which is nice for those who want a challenge and for those who just want to get through the fight. There's also a fast forward option for when the enemy team has their turn, which makes the fights go way faster. But not all the fights are about defeating all the enemies. Sometimes you have to just reach a safe zone, or you get a certain number of enemies you have to defeat, and lastly, you get escort missions. There are different ways to navigate the play area because Ubisoft introduced these tubes that are all around the area. You can enter into one side and it may place you closer to your safe zone or in a more strategic area to attack. There are also boxes that have special abilities such as to freeze or to burn. All of these things make the fights way interesting. As you play, enemies or obstacles like walls or crates, they'll expel gold coins. You use these coins to buy weapons for your teams. Each character gets a primary weapon and a secondary weapon, so finding coins early is a good way to have an advantage in fights. In between the fight stages, there are puzzles, timed rings, and these Tron-looking cannons that'll give prizes of 3D models, art, weapons, power orbs, and other items. When I first started playing, I wasn't impressed by the moveset or the fights. It wasn't until I was halfway through World 3 that I really started to enjoy the fights. This is because in the first 2 worlds, you don't have too many moves. As you progress through the game, you will get better abilities that make each fight unique. So when you upgrade your slides, you can eventually hit multiple enemies and then use your basic attack. A good example is Mario, who gets a ground pound move, so when he jumps onto an ally and then onto an enemy, he gets to then use his basic attack. There are so many variations of movements and attacks that really makes this game shine. Unfortunately, you don't really get this type of gameplay until World 3. What makes this even worse is that I found that each world takes about 2 hours to play, and that's without navigating through the map that's in between the fight stages. So you'll have to play through 4 hours of slow and tedious gameplay before the fights get interesting. The story tries very hard to keep you going, and really it's not there until later in the game either. Once you finish the game, you unlock a challenge mode, and after beating the final boss, I just didn't see the point of playing this game again. So I found very little replay value here. I had more fun watching the Rabbids animation than I did the Nintendo characters. They were much more livelier, sometimes they did weird things, and it was just hilarious to see their reactions. Especially Rabbid Peach, who loved to take selfies. This wasn't a bad game, but I definitely wouldn't run out and get it. This is more of a 6 months have gone by and there isn't anything out right now kind of game. So save some cash and bide your time for when you find this at a way lower price. Well, thanks for watching and let me know your thoughts below.